Hi there, this is David and welcome to my listing of 15 short, but enjoyable RPGs for working adults. So far we've had videos dedicated to turn-based, strategy, and action RPGs, but here we're going to be having a mixture of those three genres. Everything here has been vetted by me, I've played, enjoyed, and completed them all in less than 20 hours. Also, as usual, I'm not going to be ranking them here, instead I'll be listing them in alphabetical order, so let's get started. Number 1, Atelier Iris Eternal Mana, released for the PlayStation 2. I was busy in college. Between work, school, coming out, and dating, I had a lot going on. But that doesn't mean that I didn't have time to unwind with a good game. This is a series that I wish would come back in the modern age, not only spawning 2 sequels, but the amazing Manichemia games as well. If you want to see where it all started, pick up this cute but crass turn-based game and spend a rainy weekend on it. Number 2, the Banner Saga Trilogy, released for the Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, mobile, and PC. Do you like Norse mythology? What about the Vikings TV show? Well, then here's a trio of games for you, each of them lasting about 10 hours. They're strategy RPGs with a very unique aesthetic, but still a lot of fun. Interestingly though, choices actually matter here. The game will play out differently depending on what dialogue options you choose or how well you do in battle, so get ready to live with the consequences of your actions. Number 3, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, released for the PlayStation and Sega Saturn. Growing up, I played Castlevania 1, 2, and 3, though I was really only a fan of the third installment. However, Symphony of the Night took the series and turned it on its head, taking a somewhat linear experience and introducing new mechanics such as leveling and open-world exploration. The game spawned many sequels too, but I personally have only played Symphony of the Night, so I do only feel good about recommending that game. Number 4, Diablo, released for the PlayStation and PC. Yes, I know it's shocking, but even I have been known to play a Western RPG or two in my time. I am aware that this is a long-running series, however, I can really only speak on the first game because that's the only one that I played. I think that I rented this from Blockbuster for a bit and had tons of fun, beating it in about 10 or so hours. Number 5, Dragon Quest V, released for the SNES, DS, and PlayStation 2. When Enix packed up their offices and abandoned Western game development in the 90s, a piece of me died. They were my favorite game company by a mile, producing tons of classic and quirky RPGs. But thank God for translation patches. This game, my favorite in the series, tells a heart-wrenching story of a boy growing up into a man. It's tight, introduces monster capturing, and can be completed relatively quickly if you know what you're doing. Number 6, Earthbound, released for the SNES. I remember the first time I heard about this in Nintendo Power. The ads were strange to say the least, and while I was turned off by them, especially those scratch and sniff cards, my brother was enthralled. We were both fans of JRPGs, and he decided that we needed this game in our life. We got it that Christmas, and he played it while I watched, and we both laughed at the crazy dialogue and wacky enemies. To this day, it's still one of my favorite games. Number 7, Evo Search for Eden, released for the SNES. Here's another one of my favorites, which I also Let's Played on my channel. The goal of the game is to evolve your creature in order to adapt to the changes over time. Beginning billions of years ago when a primordial sea covered the earth and unfolding over the course of 5 chapters from the amphibians to the dinosaurs and birds to even mammals and humans. It's a lot of fun and really interesting to play around with the evolution system. Be warned though, it can be pretty challenging. Number 8, Final Fantasy IV, released for the SNES, Game Boy Advance, DS, PlayStation 1, PSP, and PC. This is probably the game that cemented my love for the Final Fantasy series and RPGs as a whole. I easily put over 100 hours into the game when I was a kid, I explored every nook and cranny and tried to get all the rare drops and see if I could find the hidden Easter eggs. So I always imagined that it was pretty long, but I'm here to tell you that it's not. The last time that I played the game, I was able to finish it in about 18 hours. So if you're a fan of the series or you played it growing up and you want to experience it again, give it a go. Number 9. Fire Emblem: New Mystery of the Emblem, released for the DS. I'll level with you here. I'm not exactly a fan of the Fire Emblem series. That being said though, I have played and beaten every single one of them except for 3 houses. Though whenever possible, I used emulation to avoid the abominable permadeath that the series is so well known for. However, here in the remake of the 3rd game, casual mode was introduced, allowing for saving anywhere and for dead units to revive after battle. It's short, lasting about 20 hours, and takes away so much frustration that the series is just known for. Number 10. The Gargoyles Quest Trilogy, released for the NES, Game Boy, and SNES. This is a fun trio of games that really needs to be expanded and brought into the modern age. Spanning the Game Boy, NES, and SNES, the first 2 games are much more traditional, featuring towns and a world map. But the crown jewel on the SNES is all action. If you're a fan of Metroidvanias, you would do well to check out this trilogy. Number 11. The Golden Sun Trilogy, released on the Game Boy Advance, and the 3rd on the DS. Here we have 2 of the best games ever made, and then one of the worst. While the 1st and 3rd game can be both beaten in about 20 hours, the 2nd one is the longest of the bunch and will take you closer to 30, but it's worth it. My personal favorite part of the series is the exploration and discovery using synergy to get through dungeons and towns. The battle system is turn-based and nothing to write home about, but the storyline is top-notch. Number 12. Kingdom Hearts, released for the PlayStation 2, 3, 4, and Xbox One. I wanted so much to like and complete this entire series, but I couldn't, because I'm old and have 3D platforming issues. But for those younger or just more coordinated than me, be sure to check out this mixture of Final Fantasy and Disney. Each game in the series should take you no longer than 20 hours for the main storyline, though I've only played the first one because of, frustrating jumps and difficult bosses. But if you like what you see here, be sure to look into it. Number 13. Lapu Tactics, released for the PlayStation 2 and PSP. If you've played Disgaea, you know how this one works, only I don't really like Disgaea. Maybe it was just too off the wall for me, or the focus on insane grinding just killed it. However, this one I really liked. The art style is gorgeous, reminding me of the watercolor paintings of Saga Frontier 2, and the side-scrolling exploration is a nice touch. I would recommend playing the PSP version though, because there's an option to take out all the battle animations, considerably speeding up this strategy RPG. Number 14. Star Ocean: First Departure, released for the SNES, PSP, and PlayStation 4. Add this to the long list of gems that didn't leave Japan, but were instead teased through Nintendo Power. Developed by dissatisfied members of the Tales of team, the series takes a lot of inspiration from it, but sets the story in a sci-fi meets medieval universe. The first game, as well as the 5th, are both short. However, I cannot, under any circumstances, recommend the 5th and final game. It is a dumpster fire. But the first one is fantastic, easily going toe-to-toe with any number of SNES classics. Number 15. Vandal Hearts, released for the PlayStation. This was one of the first games that I played on the original PlayStation. However, I remember turning it on, playing it for about an hour, and thinking, what the hell is this mess? Then turning it off. It was only after I played and loved Final Fantasy Tactics that I went back to Vandal Hearts, and I really appreciated it for what it was. The storyline is interesting, the battle objectives are strategic, and well, the blood geysers are a bit morbid though. You should be able to get this one out of the way in about 20 or so hours. Well, that's it for 15 short but enjoyable RPGs for working adults. Hope that you liked this video, and what are some short games that you would recommend to others? If you like this video and what I do here on the channel, please consider supporting me on Patreon. The link to it can be found in the video description. And also, please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a good day.